Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. I am here today to review Masterchef Back to Win, aka Season 12, Episode 3, the last audition episode. And I'm kind of at a loss for words. I don't really know what to say. There's not very much to say at all. There really isn't that much to say with these audition episodes in general, like, unless I had a checklist in front of me where it was like, this person cooked this dish, and this person cooked this dish, and this dish was good, and this dish was bad. Like, there really isn't that much to say. Unlike with normal episodes where there's a lot to say and there's a lot of little things to talk about. So I apologize if this video is kind of short and it's kind of like, was this video even necessary? Because that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, should I even make a video for episode 3, another audition episode? I mean, the big problem I have with the episode, because this is definitely the worst episode so far. It's the worst audition episode out of these 3, and it just shows, why did they have to like milk all of these auditions out into 3 episodes? I think it's kind of like overkill. And part of the problem is the commercials, because these commercials, they're sort of constraining the actual episodes, and they're all just these shitty commercials. I don't care about any of them. I don't even look at any of them. I just look at my phone and turn it on mute. And then sometimes it's like, MasterChef is back, and I'm like, oh shit, and I have to like quickly grab my remote and unmute it and get back to the, what I wanted to watch, the show. And there's this certain part in the episode in particular, and it happened the same time last week too, where it was in the middle of the episode and these commercials were playing for like 15 minutes. And then the show came back and people were already cooking. And I was like, wait a second, I don't remember anyone being introduced. And I thought, did they really edit this shitty cut where they go from these people getting aprons all the way to these people already cooking? I don't know. I don't think so. And then with this episode, the same thing happened. In fact, with this episode, it was even more noticeable because they were in the middle of doing introductions when the show came back on. So the commercials, for some reason, on my channel, on my TV on Hulu, they cut and they made it so that it came back like right when the last person was being introduced. So it's like pretty embarrassing that these shows, like even this popular show Masterchef, is constrained by these stupid commercials, and they're hampered by these commercials that they cut out of the actual show. And the reason why this is important is because just imagine if this was a drama show. Just imagine if it was a horror show. Just imagine if you're sitting there watching Better Call Saul, and then all of a sudden, right when someone's about to get killed, cut to commercial, because there's 15 minutes of commercial, and they just have to show all these commercials. And so they cut like stuff out of the show, and it's like, oh shit, I don't even know who died or how it happened anymore because I didn't get to see that. The commercials, they cut everything out off. So that's what I think about commercials. Like, I really think it's a problem with this show in particular, because we've also talked about in MasterChef Junior how they don't even show every dish anymore, and it feels like a lot of this creative decisions have to do with stupid commercials. So anyways, in this audition episode, what is there to talk about? I literally don't even know. Uh, it starts off. A lot of people that I don't know. That's part of the issue. I don't know a lot of these contestants. Well, I guess we started off with two contestants that I knew, I guess, from season 10. No, wait, no, three. And I forgot about all of them because they're all pretty forgettable to me. You had this Asian guy, this blonde girl, and this Cuban guy. And I do remember, oh wait, was he Cuban? And I remember his name was Alejandro. And he is really good, and I was glad that he got a second chance because he had a very good attitude, and it seems like he's really passionate about cooking. And what do you know? He got an apron. He deserved it. There really isn't that much else to say. And then the Asian guy, he did a really good dessert dish. Apparently, it looked pretty sushi foo-foo to me. It didn't look like anything I would order if I saw a picture of it, but apparently it tasted really good, and they said it was pretty impressive that he was able to cook this dish within 45 minutes, and so props to him. And so that was one of the most exciting parts about the episode, was watching him make this dessert, because he was like running back and forth, and he was like doing a Mission Impossible mission, and I really didn't think he was going to be able to pull it off. I thought something was going to be wrong, and it was going to be very sad and dramatic, and they're going to have this music and like just this loud blaring music that just makes you want to mute the screen and put on subtitles. And then you have Blondie, and Blondie, I can't even remember. I think she did fish. She was one of the most forgettable contestants about season 10, and but I guess she's good. I don't know what else is there to say. And then did they have a Felix in that round? She's one I don't know, but she said that she was really upset that she didn't cook any Asian food in season 2, the season that she was in, and so she's gonna cook it now on the show. And all I could think was like, that's a pretty valid point, like overall, if you're on a whole season, like I guess she was. I wouldn't know, I haven't seen that season. So if she was just in one or two episodes, then it's a little sillier to say. But yeah, it is a valid comment that, like, if you have a culture that you can cook your culture's food really well and you have a connection to it, you should definitely use it to your advantage. And it actually seems like maybe she's a really good cook, because in years past on the show, you have all these cooks of these different cultures, and it seems like they use their culture's food as a crutch. Like they just can't stop like just doing the same kinds of dishes over and over, and they never really branch out. Even for MasterChef Junior, you had Gummy Worm Molly, and she would cook barbecue food all the time, and she would only branch out like a little bit, and then it became too late, and she got sent home, unfortunately. And yeah, so it was interesting seeing that this contestant Felix, that she I guess she didn't even make any Asian food, which is pretty like cool. Like, I mean, she's pretty cool. So I can't even remember if she got an apron though or not. So I don't even know. But it would be nice to see more of her, because if she didn't use her culture's cuisine like a crutch, then it would be nice to see, a chef like that who is really, really talented, and not just, pretty talented. And I'm not saying that other chefs aren't talented, but I'm just saying it's more impressive to me when you do things that don't feel safe for you. Like if I went on the competition, I make I make pancakes every week for Sunday's breakfast. And if I went on the show and made pancakes, I wouldn't think that's really that impressive. I would want to do like a crepe or like a waffle, something different that isn't pancakes, that isn't something that I make all the time, and I could practically make pancakes with my eyes closed. So that's a pretty good example of like what I'm talking about. And then I think in the next round you had, or am I getting rounds confused? I think I am. I can't even. It's just my head is like it's like a jumble of scribbles in my head that are just like I don't even know what round was what contestant was in what round. Wow. I just completely confused myself thinking about that. I was like, "Oh shit." The next round I think was more season 10 contestants, including this black girl with the British accent. I remembered her too. I can't remember her name. I think it started with a K. And then you had Samantha from season 10. I remembered her because I actually followed her on social media when she was on the show because I thought she was really pretty good for her age. And I thought that's pretty inspiring and pretty cool. She's basically like, I don't know, like younger than everyone there in that season, I believe. And so I really thought that she was like one of the standouts. If not, I think I did think she was the. I can't remember who was the best or worst of what season, but I thought I remember really thinking she was the best. And it was cool how she went through cooking school and how she had all these pictures from her progress. And that was one of my favorite things about these audition episodes was just seeing all these cooks' progresses because it gives you a good message. It tells you elimination isn't the end of the world. Like just because you're a finalist in a season and you get eliminated, that's not the end of the world. Masterchef isn't the end of the world. Uh, it is for some people, I think, who left their jobs and such. But for the most part, it's not the end. And so I really like seeing all these different chefs and they've made all this progress and they've gone cool places and like the guy and the girl from the first round, they like traveled the country together making dinners for people and that stuff is really really cool to me. So I really like that part of the episode. But oh yeah, but then she made. I couldn't believe that she made egg yolk ravioli, and I thought, oh no, like egg yolk ravioli. I just whenever me or Safi hears egg yolk ravioli, we kind of want to throw up in our mouths a little bit. Just saying. And then they were pretty mean to that woman with the British accent because she made this dish and it looked pretty confusing. And it seemed like her stress comes out in her cooking. Like she makes food and her stress comes out like visually on the plate. And you see her plate and it's like this mess that's like trying to be constructed into this dish. And she had a pretty bizarre food combination. But what I didn't like was I think they either made it look like they did or it was trickery from the editing. But Joe looked at her and said, well, there's one out. Like, there's one out of the competition. And I think he said it, like, right in front of her. And I just thought, like, what the fuck? Like, see, this is why people don't like Joe. Like, this is why people think that Joe is a fucking retard. Because, like, who the fuck would do that? Like, it's obvious. Like, she knew it. Like, she knew it as soon as Gordon said that he needed a sick bag. I mean, they were really over the top to her dish. Like, I really didn't like how extreme they were to her dish. The only one who was really pretty is cavalier, what you describe it as, was Aaron. As I like to call on Masterchef Junior, Gordon's bitch. Aaron, he was a lot nicer to her. And once again, he pretty much is my favorite judge right now on both shows because he like Graham has a balance of being nice and being harsh, and he's a lot more constructive, and he doesn't look at a contestant and go, there's one out. And I thought, ugh, God, ugh. Like, is Joe gonna be like that the whole show? Like, ugh, ugh. Like, I don't even know if I want to finish the season if Joe's gonna be like that the whole season to these people. Like, I guess he thinks that they can handle it, but it's still a shitty thing to do. Like, she didn't deserve that. She was already stressed out enough. And so I was kind of sad that she didn't get an apron, like a pity apron. Because honestly, like, I would have given her an apron. I would have given her an apron and said, uh, I don't know, you know what? There's 4 aprons left to give out, and you seem like you're trying really hard, and I think that you could probably do better than this. And I would have probably been the guy to give her an apron myself. Like, uh, so I thought that that was pretty shitty. I can't even remember who else got an apron that, or who else was in that round though. So I apologize once again. It's so, audition episodes are so forgettable. Like, there's really not much to say. They're sort of really boring. They're really uninspiring. They're really dull. It's like, do you want to eat chicken soup every single night for the rest of your life? Like, that's what audition episodes are. Audition episodes are chicken soup. And you can have some good chicken soup once in a while. Maybe if they had an actual episode, an actual episode, and then at the beginning they had a couple of audition moments, maybe that would be good. Or maybe if they had the audition episodes be like a bonus thing that you can watch on their app or their subscription to entice people to pay for them, that would be a good idea. But I really don't think that, like, having 3 audition episodes, 3 whole episodes, I really don't think that that's worthwhile. And I think that, I don't know, it's not worth it. And then, of course, in the last round, what happened in the last round? Oh yeah, well, I just 4 people cooked, and I didn't know any of them, so sorry. I don't really know what much to say. One of them, he made a dessert that is apparently his daughter's favorite dessert, and they acted like it was good, but it wasn't good enough to be Masterchef quality. And I thought, it's funny how in the first round, that woman, Felix, she made a dish that was close to her, a dish that's, her and her mom did the homemade dumpling making themselves, and so that's where she learned it from, and it comes with like this little personal story. Like, that dish is perfectly okay and dandy and fine, but then you have this guy's dish, this dessert that he makes for his daughter, and she loves it all the time, and it's like a really cool look. It looked really good. It was like a bread pudding or something with like a sauce that you pour on top. It looked really, really good. But that dish isn't good enough. It's comparisons like that that piss me off. Because you have those two contrasts. This isn't 2 different episodes. This is the same episode where they're praising that first dish, saying that was really good, and then this dish, it's like all of a sudden that's somehow not equally as good. You know what I mean? And not only that, but then they said, the problem is, sir, I'm doing a Gordon. The problem is, you've got 3 contestants behind you, and maybe their dishes are better than yours. Oh, that sounds terrible. I'm trying to be like Gordon Ramsay, and I just cannot do it at all. I sound like a jackass. And so then he goes back to his the line, and what's funny is they say you've got three contestants behind you, and maybe their dishes are season 12 quality. But then it's funny because they didn't even taste the last person's dish yet. So like, how could they know automatically that that dish? I think that was the woman who they called her the Spice Queen, which is, sounds kind of like a porn actor's name, and and I'm not saying anything. Yeah, but they hadn't even tasted her dish yet, and they're automatically saying that his dish isn't as good as hers. Like, WTF? Like, that was so stupid and so queer. It feels like at this point they say a lot of things, they do a lot of things for unnecessary drama, unnecessary controversy, and it's really irritating because it comes off as disingenuous. Like, are these guys even chefs? Like, are they just celebrities, or are they actually chefs? Like, and I know obviously they're chefs, but the way that they come across, if you didn't know anything about them on this show and you watch them this season, you kind of think like these guys are a bunch of fools. They're just these like pompous celebrity figures who pretend that they know how to cook but really don't. And that's what it kind of comes off as when I see them doing this kind of stupid shit, like saying your dish isn't as good as the three people behind you, even though we haven't even tasted the third person's yet. It's really stupid, really dumb. So those two things in the episode really rubbed me the wrong way, and I would give this episode a C minus. Like, this episode was really dull, and it I was really excited after those first two episodes. I'm not really very much excited anymore. Who knows? They showed a preview, and the challenge for the first episode, quote unquote, is gonna be to recreate the dish that got you sent home, which sounds really really cool. Like, that sounds, excuse me, that sounds like such a great challenge idea. So anyways, please like this video, comment, tell me what you thought about the episode. Tell me if you missed anything, if I missed anything, not you. You didn't miss anything except for, I don't know, uh, all the other MasterChef videos, which you should watch. We reviewed MasterChef Junior Season 8. I've reviewed MasterChef Junior Seasons 1 and 2, and I will be reviewing all the rest. And yeah, so that's it. And please subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more MasterChef reviews. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.